Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the realistic playthrough and we don't yet have names for these towns and our republic, so please do leave them in the comments down below. I'm waiting for a few more suggestions before, so I'll leave it open for a few more episodes before we actually go ahead and name some things here. In the meantime, we are trying to build some more residential apartment buildings over here so that we can bring in more workers. At the moment, our worker numbers are not quite where we want it to be, and of course, we are still plagued by a lot of workers not being able to work due to low education, but I think that is actually being corrected fairly quickly, so I'm okay with that. We're just going to try and focus on getting some of these things done. I'll probably play it at a slightly faster speed, the double speed from here, and then we'll start thinking about what our next steps are. What are these things here? Just another rail vehicle, which we're nowhere near being able to use. But yeah, I think things are going fairly well, and we'll keep an eye on that 401 number over there. Over time, we would like to see that increase, whether that be through hiring or bringing in foreign workers to come and live here, or bringing in citizens is basically the discussion, or whether it's something else. But that's okay. We're getting our first taste of the water and sewage system. So here we can see we've got a central tank for sewage, which is being collected by trucks from over there. This is a water the drop off over here too. Here we can see higher priority. Interesting. So the truck is dropping off water, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Truck is dropping off water, and from there the water is being distributed to all of our buildings that require it. I don't believe this building requires it. If they did, we're in trouble. But anyway, so all of our buildings are getting their water, not nice, good water quality, being bought at the customs house over there. Now, some of the things we should start looking at is bringing in some additional construction offices, because we only have a limited number of the free ones, and also the fuel. And as we get more vehicles, we probably need fuel, better fuel stations and the likes over here. So I'm kind of thinking over in this corner here would be a good spot for a fuel station, which we might start planning out right now. So that once I build new construction offices, I'll remove these so that they can be used where we're expanding. As a free of charge building, it's going to be super important if we want to expand our operation, so that we continuously move these temporary buildings forward on our construction areas. Okay, so that's some of the things that's happening. Let's speed things up a little bit. Another one I wanted to ask. There was been some comments around the UI volume. So I've reduced the UI volume a little bit, and please let me know if that is now better. And also, there's been I've done a number of these time lapses now, and I wanted to just get your feelings on how you feel about those time lapses. Do you enjoy them? They're 2 to 3 minutes long typically, and in the video, but in the game it's typically something like 20 to 30 minutes worth of just basic things happening, and they'll probably become less and less as we continue into the future. But for the time being, yeah, I like that number's coming down. But for the time being, there's going to be lots of idle time where nothing is happening. Excellent, the building's done over here. Where nothing is happening, and so we'll continue either using time lapses, or we can just fade through that 20 or 30 minute wait. So please tell me in the comments right now whether you prefer seeing the 2-3 minute time lapse, or whether you just like us to cut through to the next one. Okay, let's have a quick look at where these citizens are really, really unhappy. 44. I do wonder why that is, though. They're saying reported crimes were not patrolled. Okay, so we do need to start working on the police station, and they're not getting electronics. They don't have a church, and only one is saying that they don't have the ability to get to culture buildings. But I think that's going to be okay. We'll slowly start expanding that. The police station, the prison and the courthouse is some of the next things that we're going to do. I just would like us to get a few more people over here. So let's see how this is going. Yeah, we still need prefab panels over there. What's happening over here? Still need a load of prefab panels over here. What I think we'll do is we'll bring in some more immigrants from the Soviet bloc to come and work here as workers. I'll maybe do a couple of experts as well, so 3 extra spots there. So that gives us a fair number of more people. That should drive our happiness up a little bit, and I'm hoping to start seeing workers arriving over here. If we see workers here, and let me just see, they should be able to get here regardless. Let me just double check. I don't think, anyway, what we'll do is I'll start working on that little section there as well, just to make sure that we've got multiple access points. I believe there was one under here, which is kind of being covered by this. Let's just have a look. Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, excellent. We're starting to see workers here, which means that we can now start running workers from here to construction sites. Well, they arrive directly, but we can also start maybe taking one of our buses off of this line. Let's just see. Foreign steel workers. The line. No, forget about that. Let's just have a look at the line. So where is this one? Oh, that one is also. Ooh, what is this full? Oh, I've dropped that off a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you, my friend, going to go back to our depot so that we start getting our own workers. I might still use one bus to run up and down there, and what we can do is this thing full? Oh, it's full. My goodness. Okay. Let's get exporting. I'll up the number a little bit to about 50 at least. What we're going to do straight away is get ourselves a distribution office. It's probably over here. Distribution. We'll just grab the free one. We will have to build others, and I'm thinking, well, probably closer to this side. So what I'll do for the time being, I'm just going to slot it in. Where? Oh, well, actually, we can just do it straight over here. So what I'll do. Oh, can't build due to infrastructure. Okay, fair enough. So we'll put one in there. I will be buying a couple of vehicles to come over here. Oh, we do need. Anyway, we would like an open hull. Let's just grab maybe one to start with. That's 13 tons. Okay, so one. Let's go with 2. We'll grab 2 of them to start with, and we'll say you're going to collect, you're going to load over here if it is more than 50%, I think, and then you're going to drop it off there. There you go. So that's basically going to be what we're going to do. You're going to actually come and grab the steel. This is awesome. Okay, let's get cracking on building more stuff then. More buildings are finishing off. Okay, so now we should start seeing some money coming back in. We are literally very close to running out of rubles, so getting that money out there is going to be really important for us. Now, the next thing I would like to start building is a fuel station. So we've got plenty of modded fuel stations over here, and that's another thing that someone has been commenting on, stating that, ooh, these modded buildings aren't great. But to be honest, I don't think they're unrealistic buildings. They're just smaller buildings to make it a little bit more realistic. When you've got a population of 500 people, you can't have a steel mill that takes 500 people to work. It just doesn't feel right. You wouldn't build it at that scale. And we'll build bigger industrial complexes, even modded ones that's much bigger, further into the gameplay, into the series. Now, let's have a quick look. I don't want to have a huge gas station. That's just the standard one. This one is a 4-vehicle one. This one is a 2-vehicle one. That's a 4-vehicle one as well. Maybe the standard one is the right one for us. But I do like these Polish varieties. They kind of look quite good to me. I'm kind of tempted to actually these. Yeah, that road is probably the slightly better option to run it under. So I will go ahead and put that one in place. So hopefully we'll start getting this piece constructed. You know what? Let's cancel this for a second. I want to move it slightly further away from this road. So I'll move it into this spot here or there. Yeah, actually maybe even there. Let's try that one again. Grab it there and see if we can't get it to squeeze through there. Doesn't look like it's going to want to. If we pull some paths through there, no, they really don't want to. They really don't want to go there. They should be. we should be able to make it work there. That's okay. Alternatively, we could just do it in this area. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it over there. So what we'll do is and for the most part, what we should be doing is let's just get this upgraded first. What we'll do is we'll put a temporary connection onto there. I don't want to lose the trees, but that's okay. So we'll put a temporary connection onto there. We'll remove that after the fact. And what we'll do is we will place this guy right over there. So that'll be our localized area. And what we'll do is our localized fuel station. And what we'll do is we'll just make sure we put gravel roads in there from the start. So this will start working, I believe. Dumpers and roads 2. Let's put roads 2 on there, and this one will be dumpers, and we'll put roads 2 on there as well. I'm not sure if mechanisms, these sections are too short for mechanisms potentially. Excellent. So that's another area. 517. And we've got a very low limit here. So now I'm kind of tempted to bring in a few more of the uneducated immigrants from the third world. Because we've got some money to use there, and we can quite comfortably start skilling them up. We should have workers fairly... actually, we probably have no, we haven't set that up yet. So again, we still don't have the workers doing their thing here, but people are coming through this fairly quickly now. I'm assuming they're getting sorted out over here as well. So let's up our... we are running at full capacity over there. That's okay. We might have to build a new one fairly soon. But anyway, let's get... I'm kind of tempted to bring a bunch of these guys in, and they'll be uneducated, and so we'll need to get them educated first. We do have, I'm thinking, probably would like to have a bit of a through connection through here. Yeah, that's going to be useful. We'll get started on that as well. So let's assign dumpers and roads 2 to that mix over there, please. Thank you. And similarly over here. So let's get cracking on getting people to where they need to go a little bit quicker and faster. These kind of cut-throughs, I think, are important. Otherwise, we will continue to struggle with walking distances and things like that. But anyway, adding more people to the mix, getting them educated, getting them sorted out, because their health will be pretty low. Anyway, that's okay. There's another building over here. So slowly we'll get more people. And I believe we've got our first exports through. So let's have a quick look there. Oh, look at that. Export from resources. Look at that. 26 tons of steel have been passed through here, which is quite useful to us. This guy is loading up on steel probably for construction. This guy is probably stopping. Yeah, that's all good. Let's bring in... let's make sure we have at least like 90 workers there. But then what I wanted to do is grab this bus and assign it a new route. So let's clear off that route, and we'll assign it a route from here to there. You would like to load up on workers, please. No tourists and other things. I don't really care about the others. And then over here, you would like to unload workers and not the others. There we go. So we'll do about that much, and we will say make a start, so that we will run our own workers in there. Hopefully we will have, yes, there we go, 18 workers ready to go, because construction projects are kind of slowly making their way through there, and we've got workers working everywhere at a max rate. Yeah, fairly close to a max rate, to be honest. Fairly close to a max rate. People are able to get their children and things over there. So we're slowly starting to gain a little bit of momentum over here. Over there, not a lot of visitors coming in here. We've got our people working there. We might need an extra one there, and we could really now start our construction over here. So let's actually, before we do that, let's just get some of our road sections sorted out. That section's done. This one, I'm assuming, needs workers. Yeah. So let's bring in a quick round of foreign workers to come and pop in there. That's okay. But yeah, it's looking a little healthier now. It's looking a little healthier. I'm quite comfortable with that. So we do need to just assign our roads crews over here as best we can. There's also some other comments suggesting we should only be moving these mechanisms with the larger trucks. I absolutely agree. It's just not something we can afford at the moment. And because stuff is taking quite long, just in general, to get everything done, I'm not too fussed by, these guys are driving out here pretty slowly. So that's all good. I don't mind that too much. So we'll get that up and running, get some of these paths built. This needs some workers to kind of finish off. And then we can start the construction over here, and we can start looking at the construction over there to get some police in place. But yeah, absolutely, things are moving along quite nicely. We should probably start working on the next building over here. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and assign dumpers, cranes, concrete, roads and paths, not workers over here. So let's assign those guys. And start building the next building. Things are moving along pretty nicely. We'll get this one in place, and there's some other stuff that we're doing, and we should be making fair bits of money from these guys. Excellent. I do like that. Is that our own workers? Let's have a look. It's our own workers. We're producing our own steel with our own workers for like the first time in this game. So I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable with that. Let's have a quick look at our population statistics. So what has happened in the last month? We have we've had a few deaths, a number of immigrants, and 23 births. We had 0 escapes, which is awesome. If we have a bit of a look at our education rates, they are looking pretty good. These guys are pretty all that I just bought myself or brought them in. This education trend is going up fairly nicely and quickly, so I'm liking that. Our university is too small, and that was some of the comments that we received from, in the comments as well, saying that some of these buildings are small and inefficient. Fair enough, and this is just time to hold us over a little bit, but yeah, I note that we will have to start work on a new and bigger university fairly quickly. Okay, things are starting to look good. Look at that. Our money is literally is going up. Look at that. So if we look at the last month, the month of June. Oh, hang on, there's a fire. We'll have a look at that now. If we're looking at the month of June, I've paused the game. We've actually made money in the month of June. And that is what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Now let's quickly go and have a look at where this fire is at. Yes, here we go. Excellent. The fire department is on the way. This is our very first building fire, and we managed to cover that effectively. Let's have a look. All of our current buildings are covered by that fire department. We may need an extra mechanism or appliance in there, and that's something we will start looking at. But yeah, all in all, pretty good. I'm quite comfortable with where this game is heading. Our unemployment rate is pretty low. 2 unemployed due to workplace, and then still a little bit with low education. Got workers waiting over here. We've got workers should be on the way here, right? Let's just double check. Where's that bus? That bus. I'm assuming that bus went to go and get fuel, right? You see this guy? Yeah, so it went to get fuel. Yeah, that's why this facility here is quite important for us to get up and running as soon as possible. And we can also maybe start work on some of these. But ultimately, guys, I think we're in a really healthy position now. Still slow, still very slow, and we do need a ton of other things to be constructed. So let's just start work on, forget about the workers for the time being, roads and paths and dumpers. Yeah, let's do that. We're still slow, but we do now need to start working on things like the police station to make sure that we're sorting that out effectively. And we do need that fuel station up and running a little bit closer to town. Ultimately, we might build another one over here, but multiple ones is really what we're after in the end. This bus is running through. There should be workers available. We're still getting some foreign workers in here, which isn't a bad idea. Let's have a look. We should get much more foreign workers coming in now due to the fact that our construction industry is kind of almost self-sufficient at the moment. So that's quite useful just in general. Now, what I will do here is just go back and maybe just sort out a couple of pathing issues. I'm going to put a little path in there while we quickly... Okay, so could put a couple of paths in there while we... actually, let's clear this section out, and I quickly want to just gravelize these path sections. Just make sure that we get our dumpers in place here. So if we just assign the dumpers, the local workers should finish that off by themselves. Now that's awesome. So things are starting to happen at a reasonable rate. Why is this struggling? Oh, so we're not getting an appliance in here. So let's grab a round of workers to come in through here. This is a little bit out of town, so it's a slightly more difficult one to deal with. More vehicles coming in. Steel being dropped off. Steel should be produced at a pretty reasonable rate. Oh, we're out of coal? Why are we out of coal? We're literally out of coal. We're now producing things at a rate that's a little bit... so let's just bring back to 50 workers there. But yeah, so we're getting out of coal pretty quickly. We just need to make sure that we've got enough dumpers actually working on it. But we're trying. We're doing what we can. So things will be inefficient for a fair bit of time, but our population is growing, which is exactly what I'm after. So it is now the 16th of June. In this month, we've had 12 births and 4 deaths, so we're actually growing from that perspective. If we have a look at this, slowly, education is creeping up. That would be very, very slow, if anything. And this one should be going down. Interesting that it went up a little bit, probably a couple of births that sorted that out. So what do we have? A look over here. Productive workers, productive age workers is 409. There's a few babies around. There's a few children around. There's no adults still living with their parents because there are still spots where people can go and move to. What is the quality of this building? 87 versus 83. So these buildings are reasonable quality. Less than 80 becomes a little bit problematic, I think, but above 80, I think, is absolutely fine. We've got the kindergarten still with some room. We've got plenty of room over here. We may actually drop that down a little bit to only 10 workers there, just because we don't need all those spots. And people are slowly getting themselves skilled up to a university education level. But yeah, obviously this facility is not quite big enough to really accommodate even this small size of town that we have. So this is happening. We're running out of coal super quickly through here. But that guy is constantly dropping that off. Yeah, barely in time. Yeah, there we go, filling that up. But I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. This guy's now popping in here to... I'm hoping you're not picking up just a little bit of it. Okay, you're actually picking up a reasonable amount. Yes, that's good. That's good. So you're loading yourself fully, and then you're going to the customs house to drop that off. I think we're going to be stable now. I'm really comfortable that we're going to be stable now in terms of our finances. If we do have a quick look at our finances, now this, if we look at last month and we look at this month, we'll see a massive difference. I mean, I don't think we're going to be net positive, but we're going to definitely start getting there now. We're definitely going to start getting there. We should get some workers to come and sort out these buildings for us. I'm pretty sure there would be workers doing that thing for us. And we should have workers in that bus. Oh man, 27 workers over there. It's starting to look healthy. It is now starting to look healthy for the first time. We're starting construction on the police station. We should be starting our construction over here. So let's get dumpers, roads and paths. Forget about, well, we might bring workers in here to get this one going a little quicker. Concrete and cranes and materials, and we'll just move that through. So we're no longer using any external steel. We should have sufficient steel to kind of deal with us for the most part. Look, we had some extra money come in. So if we go back here now, I think we've got a very close to balanced little outcome here now. We may still end up, when we're doing a big expansion of sorts, we may still end up going in the right direction in terms of the loan direction. Apologies. But definitely we're moving things through. So basic education, I can't remember. I should have checked it when I brought them in for the first part, is how many of them actually came in with zero education and how many we quickly skilled up to a basic education level. But that's the important part. So it costs us dollars, which we have got plenty of and no real use for at the moment because we're so far away from any of these things. So we're not getting any workers to even come and finish this section off. And that is a thing that I find a little bit weird. Is there a way we can allocate workers to come here? Workers on the construction site, max number of workers. Let's get our workers in here. Let's make it a high priority. If we do have a high priority, are we going to see workers pop into the site? Doesn't seem to be the case. I do find that quite interesting. How many free workers do we have? Do we need? Yeah, we just don't have free workers. They're all popping in here, but we just don't have the free workers, it seems, to finish off these little sections. So what I may do is I may just assign the workers from the customs house to just come and get these sections done for us, because I'm a little bit frustrated with them struggling so significantly over here. All of these sections, to be honest. Let's just get all of them sorted out with workers from the customs house, and it's just going to be one load each time, and hopefully it's not going to be overkill is really my concern here. Steel is here. We're waiting on some bricks, so we really need to start working on what the next piece is. This is underway. We've got our first items there. The 7.2 tons of steel should be no problem for our guys, and our money is looking brilliant. Our money is looking brilliant. I mean, yes, we're under, but if you compare it to last month where we had 50,000, this month is beautiful. This month is looking absolutely beautiful, and that's just awesome. It might be because we're doing less, but all in all, I'm quite comfortable with where we're at. We need a load of steel, so I'm hoping that comes through quickly. It's inefficient if the workers gets dropped off here and there's no steel and the likes to sort things out. But ultimately working quite nicely now. We can probably start construction on some of these other items. So we've got workers out here doing their thing, and there's bricks now, so stuff should be working. We're probably waiting on some cranes to come and work here. A load of steel should be on its way now from there. That's good. No workers there at the moment. As soon as this thing's built, we should be better. Though we are going to then start using more and more fuel and things like that. So anyway, these guys are dropping off. Oh, getting some mechanisms here to speed things along. So that should be built fairly quickly. Once we have those guys in play, of course, we'll end up with more staffing requirements. We still have only 15 uneducated workers. If we go back in here. They are being educated fairly quickly, and their health is being brought up fairly quickly also. So I'm comfortable to do a little bit of that, and we could also bring in some guys over here as well. So let's bring in 40 odd of them, and at the moment they are only 8 of them are educated, 32 are not. So we'll slowly need to get that number up as well. What we can then also do is start construction over here. So let's get dumpers and the likes in place here, so we can start work on that one. I'm super comfortable with what we're doing with getting things sorted. We've got all of those paths in place. That's pretty cool. We have access points in a number of different locations, so I'm probably going to start looking at getting this guy sorted out, and then what we'll do is we'll remove this section and that section, so we'll just let them walk through on that side. That's good. We'll get the dumpers assigned over here, and probably the workers as well, because otherwise that's going to be a bit of a challenge. We are pretty stable in terms of income and the like, so this is good. Look at that. Now we've got pretty decent activity areas here. We've got more people in here now, because obviously people are being born. 2 people are without jobs. Unemployment's popped up a little bit due to the fact that this was in place here. I'm assuming plenty of construction workers doing their thing over here. Just waiting on the work days over there. We should have just waiting on some construction workers here too. Yeah, this should be built fairly quickly though. And we are working. Yeah, we've got a mixture of people, but yeah, we're struggling with our coal supply now. So we probably need an extra dumper bringing in coal here at the very least. Oh, we're even out of this stuff. So yeah, we need more trucks if we wanted to resolve that one. So at the moment we've got this guy. So I think we might start work on a local distribution facility. to kind of get us up and running. So what I'll do in the first instance is let's start by graveling up this section of road. We can still obviously take the other side, and what we'll do is we'll do roads and paths and dumpers and in there. So let's deal with that one. Actually, let's get roads 2 over here instead. Forget about the roads and paths because they don't have necessarily the right all the right equipment. So we'll get that one in place. They can still kind of loop around that way. When we do the other side, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, you're dumping some iron over here. Yeah, so we're struggling with the materials more so than anything else. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's a good problem to have. We slowly have to scale up everything that we're doing. What's going on here? A few more workers, work days required. A crane would have helped, but anyway, I think they're going to finish roughly about the same time. We've got oil here for heating running. What I am wondering about is how effectively we have all of these tanks filled, but I think we should be okay at this size. I haven't actually done the math on that, but I think we should be okay. That's just picking up some water and stuff there. Okay, the police station is ready to go. I think what we'll do is we're getting some staff to come and work here. What I will do is I'll trim that down to like that level there, and we will need to procure ourselves a little bit of a police car. I think I'm just going to go with a cheap one, to be honest. That seems reasonable. 80 kilometers an hour is going to be a good starting point. So we'll just get the one car over there so that crimes can at least start to be investigated. The next step, of course, will be for us to get this one up and running. And I'm not too sure. Oh, it doesn't take too much steel, to be honest. We can probably start working on that. So let's get that in place. The idea is really to be running appropriate little sections through here. There's a crossing there. We could cross over here. But the idea is really that we do run our paths like this. And what we'll do is we'll tie that in there, and we'll get cracking on that one. So this one can start working CO dumpers and roads 2. That should work. And this one, again, CO construction office dumpers and roads 2 or road 2. And then we'll get those done, and we'll see how it goes from there. And then we'll get the construction starting on that side. Excellent. We don't have a road connection to it, do we? No, we don't. So I don't know how that works, but anyway, that should be fine. Oh, there we go. This one is up and running and should be powered. And what we do need to do now is find this facility and just say, guys, you also need to please come and drop off some fuel there. Up to about 30% should be just fine. So once the fuel is in place over here, this will make it a little quicker for vehicles running through here. 22 workers ready to go over there. Plenty of, well, not plenty, but some construction guys over here. We've got police. Police should be doing their thing now. We've got a police car ready to go. So crimes should, in fact, be investigated if required, and should be patrolled and the likes. Do we see the area of effect? Yeah, the area of effect is fairly sizable, so that should be all good. We are producing steel, and this is almost done. Then we'll do the other side. Excellent. Yeah, we do run out of coal pretty quickly. There's still some left over there, but we do run out of coal quickly. That section is done. Let's move through and get the next 2 pieces done. Basically, there's now nothing to do into these sections, so we'll get the roads 2 to come and work on them. That one there and that one there. All good. We'll get those sections in place, and then we'll see about building a new distribution office in this area, and then we really need to start working on a new distribution office here should be pretty good, I think. And then we really need to start working on the rest of the construction industry. But yeah, I think, guys, it's looking really good. How's our government loyalty? Yeah, we're not making a dent in the loyalty, to be honest. But the other items is doing pretty well. Sports enjoyment could probably be a little bit better. Maybe an extra facility. Cultural enjoyment's okay. Alcohol addiction is pretty high. And the religious sympathy, I'm assuming, is dropping down a little bit. Is that bus full of people? Fairly close to being full of people. Going through that way. Interesting. Interesting. It's probably, yeah, no, it's still summer. Still middle of summer, so it should all be good. We've got some workers hanging out over here. Now, the question is, do we stop the foreign workers altogether now? I'm tempted to do so. We're not using them anymore, but we're obviously still paying for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just sending you back to the depot over here. That'll be all good. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So that's our drain on foreign workers is going to drop off almost completely at the moment. Yeah, we really need to get the coal here a little quicker. Is really what we're after at the moment. Yeah, having sold some of the steel. This one here. Oh, that is correct. What we can do, or we'll need to wait for this thing to finish before we can assign what's happening here. This one is saying what exactly? Citizens' health is too low. Where is that? Have we been able to sort them out a little bit from a health perspective? Yeah, I believe the health has come up. Look at this. Look at this. Properly educated now. Well, not properly educated, but coming up. This is coming up. Even a university education here already. That's awesome. We do, I think, need to work on a little bit of improvement through here. I'm not sure we can actually tie in. Yeah, that was unfortunately a little bit close. So something like this. And then what we'll do a little bit of this, and we'll just tie these guys in. It should be okay for the time being, but we'll tie that in. We'll get this up and running as well. And then just assign all of those. Oh, that one's bolt. Let's get some dumpers in here. Potentially, yeah, roads too could work on this one. Actually, no. Let's get the roads and paths to come and work on this one. Similarly, dumpers and roads and paths here. And we'll see what we get out of that. They should all be constructible. I think so. Dumpers and roads and paths. We'll slowly get all of this done. Now, I just wanted to have a look. Where can they actually reach? They can reach the hospital. Yeah, comfortably. And from this one, can they reach the hospital? Yeah, they can reach the hospital and the school. They can't at the moment get to the bus stop. But I believe once we get this in place, that's a pretty direct shot to get to the bus stop too. Even though, yeah, there's not a direct connection through here. You'll have to go around there, and that's probably why that's starting to get a little bit far from the bus stop. This guy can't get to the bus stop, which is okay. Oh, they don't have any people working there just yet. So what I'll do is let's bring in at the moment. That number is too low, but this number is absolutely fine. I don't even mind dealing with the third world immigrants for the time being. So some education, basic education, some not, and it's about a 48% health. So that needs to be worked on. What's the health looking like over here? These guys were originally those immigrants with poor education and things, but they're looking pretty good. And what I'll do is I'll just bring in the guys over here. So someone's actually moved in over here. So let's leave a few open spots then at least. So we'll do something like that potentially. How did we do there? Yeah, 50-50. So there's some spots there. People will now, of course, start moving through. So our population is starting to grow. There's now a pretty big chunk of unemployment, again, due to the low education. That should be sorted out pretty quickly. I'm a little concerned that this guy's not actually going to get a vehicle to come here. It's all done. Can you move straight to that one? Unfortunately, you can't. There goes that one again. Yeah, so slowly moving through a lot of stuff. Yes, we've got our gas here ready to go. So at least there's some additional fuel supplies ready for our various guys. Minor crimes are being investigated. I'm quite comfortable with that. We're probably going to need some extra vehicles at some stage. These needs to actually go to the courthouse. So the courthouse is the next big ticket item for us. I believe they said you don't really need a courthouse until you get to about 1,500 population, but obviously it may be a bit of a challenge. Now, this section through here, I kind of wanted to start working on how we're going to move Is that gonna... Okay, you know what? Let's trim that back a little bit. We don't need it to be all the way through there, but what I do need to do is find a little spot where we can actually run it through there. That's all good. I'm going to trim this path back all the way there, and then we'll start tying that in. So that's pretty good, actually. Ultimately, we could tie it in somewhere over here. I think that's fairly reasonable. Let's make it a little bit more middle so that we can get... There we go. That's a good little backward path there, and we can start the guys to come and work there. Will this be constructed? Is some of the questions that I obviously ask when this kind of stuff is happening. We should also get this little section done. So that's the problem by not doing it straight away. We have this issue. So this will need to have workers and dumpers in there, and we'll do that because they're not going to use the other stuff, but we'll see about this one. Dumpers in the roads 2, dumpers in the roads 2, so we'll see if that works. I think we need to assign workers over here because I think this isn't going to work. And for some reason, our local workers don't end up doing that as well. Due to no workplace. This is good. This is good. This is starting to look really nice. A load of workers is arriving. Yeah, we're completely hampered by the rate at which these things are coming in here now. So I think for the time being, what I'll do now is I'll get a little bit of an extra connection to run up here, and I won't tie it in until that guy's finished because that's a bit of a challenge. And what we'll do is we will start working on that section, please, and we'll get dumpers and CO roads to come in here. Thank you. Sorry, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And then what I'll do is I will tie in this section over here as a temporary measure, so at least I can still get to all of these facilities while we slowly start to get everything kind of tied in and have just little chunks that's not being serviced. Yeah, so steel is being created. We probably doesn't even matter that we don't have the workers to go down there quicker because actually the workers remains there. We run out of workers just before the next batch arrives, and that's a full load of workers. I could up it a little bit to 50 so that we can at least maintain all of them, and when we get at least when the stuff is there, we do use the 50 workers that we drop off here. Look at that. So 50 workers, run through that pretty quickly, and we'll create more steel. Excellent. I do like it. I do like it. I'm having fun. Let's just put it that way. I'm having fun. This needs some construction, so let's assign our construction over here. Roads and paths, concrete cranes, dumpers. That should be all good. We should get everything there, and construction workers should then in fact be arriving. And we're probably fairly close to a point where we can just get our workers to come in from here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's grab this guy and say, oh, we only have the 2 buses there, and say, guys, you know what? That's the end of it. Come and get your workers from over here instead. So now we can assign workers, no problem whatsoever. We'll just assign the workers to come and drop off here. But we've got the 18 workers on site anyway, but that's good. That means now even that piece is going to be dropped off. Now, if we have a look, excellent, that's been done. This last section here. Yeah, roads 2 is being assigned there. Yeah, again, well, now we can assign workers, no problem. So let's assign workers over here. Let's assign workers over there. Obviously a slow burn on some of these things, but let's do the assignments because we're getting them from our own supply of fairly consistent workers. And you know what we could do? I'm going to assign these 2 guys to go and join there. We may as well use them. We may as well use them to grab workers, move them around because they're there anyway. Happiness is quite low. It's probably the newer buildings, the newer populations. Yeah. So slowly we can see our health is coming up. There was about a 50% health or just under 50. Our education is coming up. Similarly over here, maybe a little slower on this side. Health is coming up. Maybe health is the first thing they deal with, and then once that's the reasonable level, they go and work on the education. Let's quickly, that'll be the end of the episode really, but let's have a quick look at our stats one more time. It's going to go into winter fairly soon, then we'll start planning something else. So if we have a look, it's about, let's pause it while we look at this. So this active month, we had 22 births, which is awesome, 8 deaths, 5 escapes. I'm assuming these guys start off with pretty low happiness, and so you do get a little bit of attrition the moment they arrive. Look at this number. We're slowly creeping up to 90 university educated staff or citizens here. If we have a look at this year, for instance, these are obviously guys, each time we bring in some people. So a lot of births actually this year, 121. Versus the deaths is only about 49, and I think the deaths are high due to the low health that we start off with some of these people. But I think that's quite good anyway. Escapes have been a little bit higher than I would have liked. Immigrants, obviously, there's a lot of immigrants that's come in this year. Now, if we look at this, that number is fairly consistent. So it's really slow. So we're really not doing a proper job of this. This is really good. Seeing that basic education moving through so quickly is really awesome. And each time you can see we add a few uneducated people, and that number starts dropping pretty quickly. So our thing there is pretty good. Our problem really now is we're not doing a decent enough job at getting higher levels of university education in place. So that's one of the next things I'm going to do, is build a proper university. That one just doesn't cut it. We maybe do a university somewhere over here or somewhere over here in the middle of town. I'm not sure we'll do it over there, but it's looking pretty good. We can then start looking at a few decorations as well. Let's have a quick look at what our money is looking like. So for this month, it's been just under. For last month, it was a little bit higher in the end. Why was that? I think we bought some vehicles. Did we buy vehicles? No, we didn't. A little bit of foreign manpower. So what was this in the last one? Fuel for the new fuel station. That's what it was. That certainly drove us up a little bit. These numbers are getting a little high. Coal is a little high, but I don't see us sorting out the coal issue soon. There's a bit of an expansion required for us to get there. Gravel is one that we could fix a little bit quicker, to be honest. But yeah, and because gravel is a pretty high number, then fuel, we could start looking at our own smaller refinery to create our own fuel and other items, because the next piece of the puzzle, I think, will also be to do a little bit of asphalt roading. So what I'll do is let's just do a little chunk here so we can just see what we have. So basically it's just additional asphalt beyond the gravel. And if we then do, we can't actually have a look at that. So let's anyway, we're not going to do that right now. So let's leave that in place. So getting our asphalt facilities and our gravel facilities in place is probably about the right thing to do. Where is our asphalt plant? Concrete plant. This is our asphalt plant. Asphalt. Hang on, I can't get it. I can't see it over here. Let's move over this way and have a look. Construction industry. Cement plant, prefab, asphalt. Asphalt takes bitumen and gravel. So gravel is the next thing. If we get gravel sorted out, we should have a pretty reasonable experience. Okay, let's quickly move in there. Yeah, I'll double check that. So last month ended up being a little bit more costly than I would have liked, and we are so low. We may still have to go the route of the loan in rubles. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do a proper loan. Look, the interest rate is pretty low. So you probably should do something like 2 million and just get it all done with. But your repayment on this would be enormous. So I won't be able to do that unless we potentially do something like a 2-year repayment as well. So that the repayments are pretty low. Yeah, I wouldn't. They don't even show you what the repayments would be. But if it's just half a year, 2 million will be too pricey. Will just be too pricey. Anyway, we'll have to maybe start looking at that in the next episode. We'll have a bit of a look at crimes. Reported crimes 3, minor crimes 2, medium crimes 1, serious crimes 0. Police did not come to the crime scene for all of the crimes, basically. So that's an interesting one. Does that mean we don't have enough police? Or, oh, there's a serious crime there. Investigations are underway. Maybe I should grab an extra vehicle at least, or even 2 vehicles. Let's get 2 extra vehicles just to make sure that we are covering that off. A university is going to be important in the next one, and then we start working on the gravel industry. So we'll build the courthouse. We'll then move on to building the prison. We definitely need to lay out some more residential components over here, I think is the idea. We don't want to do too much too quickly though, because we may we'll definitely need to. Oh, actually, we can see here total capacity of all connected buildings is 97% of it, and the estimated maximum drain is 73. So it's because some of them are draining directly over here. So if we look at this, yeah, up to here is draining directly from there. So this one is really only serving this area over here at the moment, and that's why there's still a little bit of capacity, but we need to be cautious. This town cannot go much bigger than it is at the moment. A few more buildings maybe, like maybe 4 more residential buildings to get us to say the 1,000, 1,100 or 200 mark as a maximum is what we're going to be able to do here, because some of these facilities just won't last. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been a fun episode. We've actually fully done a lot of stuff all the way through the episode because we're now getting a functioning town, and I'm getting more and more excited to get more of this town functional and working, and actually starting to get into this stuff a little bit more, so that we are more self-sufficient and we can deal with this low number over here. I'm really keen on potentially not taking out a loan if we can make it work, but we'll need to produce way more steel and get that to the border. So I think if we get our distribution office in place and we run more trucks that can bring in these components, the iron and the coal, we will be doing a better job. Coal will be expensive, but nothing compared to selling more of our steel. So I think that's really the way to go at this point. We've got the workers. They seem pretty good at the moment. We've got the workers over here, workers available, and we are producing steel at a reasonable rate. We're just not getting, the production is not that reasonable because we're not getting enough coal and iron in place. But other than that, things are looking good. 70% happiness overall, 83% health rating, which is good. Unemployment is dropping yet again, obviously knowing that we've had some issues with uneducated people, but I think bringing in the third world country people is a good idea, because that's saving us a lot of money, even though they do come with their own problems. Once you've got the hospital and the school up and running properly, then generally I don't see any big issues with it. Working really well, actually. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. As always, do leave your comments also, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do note there's a number of viewers that hasn't subscribed yet, so if you are enjoying it, please do consider subscribing. Bye-bye!